All right, so let's jump in. Jannik, one of the top participants in the Agent Prediction Hackathon or Prediction Agent Hackathon and multiple prize winner. So wanted to dive in. Curious to hear a little bit about you and what you're currently working on and kind of what's your background.
I'm Jannik. I'm currently studying blockchain and distributed ledger technologies in Mittweida at the University of Applied Science there. They have a master studies course that they, I think, opened about 4 or 5 years ago. And when I stumbled about it, I instantly applied and started. About two years ago, I started with the studies, and now I'm just before my master thesis. I'm looking for some topics that I can do in the thesis, and one of my colleagues gave me the hint that there was a hackathon from Valerie and Noses, the Prediction Agent Hackathon, and I started looking into the content and deep dived into it and had a lot of fun there. I originally, all my first studies was completely out of topic. It was cognitive science. Then I worked in marketing, and I had not found the thing that I wanted to do. But the software engineering or software development, always interested me. And when I came across the whole blockchain thing in 2021, I decided to go into it.
Very, very cool. So basically you have quite pretty varied background for someone who's in software development right now. Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah.
If anything, I think that's kind of a pretty big plus actually, because you have a full idea of what's going on when you're engineering different bits of code, and I've definitely noticed it in the things you've done during the hackathon. But I also, very interesting that there is a course on blockchain. I mean, I would have thought there are a lot of courses on blockchain, but there aren't that many. So you're one of the early adopters of blockchain university courses.
Yeah, that's correct. So university courses, I think there are only one or two in the whole Europe, I think. But there are some online courses or master classes you can do about blockchain or specific topics like NFT or something. But the complete university studies are very few.
So you mentioned briefly that you heard of the hackathon through a colleague. What was the I guess what was it that drew you to prediction agents, and actually how did it motivate you to what was it that motivated you to actually start running your first agent?
So I'm currently working as a working student at Deutsche Telekom MMS, and they have a blockchain solution center where they run validators on different blockchains, and I did my internship there. And when it came to my master thesis, I told my colleagues that I was looking for some topics, and I wanted to connect AI and blockchain. And when my colleague found the hackathon here, I thought it was the perfect match, and I started looking into it, and got drawn into it, and that's something that I came to the hackathon. It was just a hint from a colleague, and then I looked into it, and I thought this could be very interesting for my master thesis, and not just for my master thesis, but also it's very personally interesting, and I think I'm gonna go deeper in it still when I have finished my master thesis. So it drew my attention, and it's very, very cool topics.
Yeah, super. I also kind of got more and more drawn into it. The more you kind of go in, you actually start with your agent, you get familiar with how prediction markets work, and then you start understanding what the kind of implications of markets and how all of that can come together to create more accurate data about the future. Obviously, still very early stages, but you're actually one of the participants who was able to kind of crack the code on being able to really improve the accuracy on the agent side, on the trader agent side.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. I one more thing about that. Very, very interesting. You provided the quick start guide on starting the trader agent, and I ran it. It was totally simple. The documentation was very good, so I didn't have to read much for getting it started. And it was kind of with week for week, I went layers or more layers down into the code. And when I started, I just set the parameters, and I changed when my trader should bet and when it shouldn't bet. And then I was thinking, okay, how could I improve something? I did some research on trading in general and stumbled about the Kelly formula, the Kelly criterion, which I implemented later. And it was step by step going deeper and deeper into it. There was some very interesting experience.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like a journey that, you have like this entry point, very easy to start running your agent. But, as you might have noticed at the start, it wasn't necessarily very good at predicting. And so from there, step by step, you get further and further,
right.
improve.
Yeah, right. First the Mac, the AI Mac agent doing the predictions, and then improving the trader agent. That was the journey. Yeah.
So I mean, on this journey, we mentioned a few different events. What would you say were kind of the most rewarding parts of the hackathon for you, or of the whole experience in general?
Oh, the most rewarding was, I think, that the implementation of the Kelly betting strategy worked out, and there was so much work I put into it and research, because the formula in general is done for, or was created for, traditional bets where the odds are fixed. And as we know, in blockchain or with automated market makers or constant product market makers, the odds are depending on how much you invest, and the Kelly formula tells you how much you should invest based on your bankroll or your budget. And so there was interdependency, and there was some, I had to do a lot of math and thinking how to make this work, and then implementing it into the trader. There was a lot of work, and in the end, when it was running and it was doing the right predictions, that was, I think, the most rewarding part of all of it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It is really great to see to be like, okay, here's this idea that I have. Maybe it might work. It should work according to the maths. Then you go in, you do all that work, and it's not even that you're not just kind of plugging in some formula. There's a lot of extra layers you have to do to actually make it work on with prediction markets and AMMs. And then seeing that actually, it actually makes a very significant difference to the strategy, like positive significant difference. Yeah, it must be quite good. And in fact, it's so successful that it's becoming part of, or has become part of the kind of default trader strategy as well. So that's your mark already in there. I mean, there's a lot of other parts of the stack that you're involved in as well, but that as well to me seems one of the key highlights.
Cool. Happy to hear that. Nice.
So, I mean, so that was the kind of rewarding part. Was there any moments or kind of insights, surprising insights in the hackathon that stood out to you, or challenges that you ran into?
Oh, definitely. I think one of the things that were most frustrating was the prompting for the AI agents that do the predictions. When I started, I thought it would be quite easy to tell ChatGPT or any other model what it should do for making the prediction, and then it would output the correct answer. And I had to learn that this is not the case. Before this hackathon, I haven't or I have used ChatGPT a lot, but not with such a specific instructions that we have to tell or give them for making the predictions. So I came into the hackathon thinking, okay, I have the ChatGPT model. It tells me everything I want to know. But then I had to learn that there have to be very, very specific instructions about the events of a prediction market question, and when the market question has a deadline, when the event has to have appeared or occurred, then the ChatGPT has to consider this deadline. But what I realized was that when it got a lot of additional information where the information said that the event would happen, but one day after the deadline of the market question, then ChatGPT didn't consider the deadline in the question and gave predictions very confident that the event will happen. But that was obviously wrong, because when the model would have read this one sentence that it would happen after that, then it would have given a different prediction. So the prompting and telling the models what to do and how to do the prediction was very frustrating, because it didn't work out in the end very, very well as I would have hoped. So yeah, that's the part that was not so rewarding.
Yeah. That is the thing, because it's kind of like, in a way, you need GPT to have this, power of reasoning over the data that it's collecting, but at the same time there's elements of it that you want for it to know deterministically, that, for example, with the event that has happened by this date, if it's happened afterwards, that hasn't happened within the time frame of the question. So yeah, that's kind of something I struggle with as well with GPT a lot of the time. When it's amazing, like super super but then on some basic things it can lead you astray. But this is why why we're doing this hackathon, why you need people to come in and figure out what are the kind of holes to kind of dig out of and the hurdles to jump over. And I think out of all the participants, you're definitely one of the ones who was able to get the furthest with these tools.
Yeah, very interesting. If it was easy, everyone would do it. So it has to be hard.
Yeah. Well, I think basically the more people who find it hard, the easier it gets for the next ones. But
sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we need those people. So as someone who's kind of been in the weeds and really at this stage knows at least the predictions, the mech and the trader agent very, very well now. You mentioned this is something that you're kind of going to look into after the master's thesis, but I guess in the short term there's staking coming. Is that something that you're looking at, or you just in it for the tech? So to explain, staking is basically the fact it'll be, what's happening is it'll allow you to stake OLAS on your agent and essentially earn rewards on top of whatever your agent makes, basically.
Okay, I must admit I haven't looked into it yet, but I think it's definitely interesting for me. The coming weeks and months I'm gonna focus on the thesis, and maybe when I have time I'm gonna look left and right and maybe dive deeper into it and maybe use it. I saw that you updated it, I think a few weeks or few days ago, I don't know, but it's definitely something I'm gonna look into it.
So I guess on the subject of the thesis, wondering what your high level, maybe not so much is if this is something you're going to write about, but maybe like what's your view, seeing as you've taken an interest on prediction markets, what's your view on kind of the potential of AI and AI agents in prediction markets? Where do you see this kind of going?
I think the potential is huge, but I also think that we have a long way to go, because I think prediction markets only work when a lot of people are doing predictions and are into it, but because only then the predictions can be seen as accurate and can actually predict things in the real world. So I think there have to be the major use cases where the prediction markets can be used or thrive. I know that there is, how's it called, the elections in the US. There is the Iowa University, I think, has done some prediction markets and predictions for predicting who's going to be the next president or something. And this is more sometimes more accurate even than classic election polls. So I think this is maybe one use case, but I think the tech is really and the AI is really able to make it very accurate and make good predictions. The use cases have to be found, but they're not only use cases in the web, in the world where I don't know, where the masses and people are doing the predictions, but maybe there are use cases where only agents communicate with each other and do predictions. I heard you mention a thing where, for example, zero knowledge proofs can be validated by prediction markets, by agents calculating and putting bets on the outcomes, for example. So there may be a lot of use cases that we don't know yet, or we don't see yet, that emerge when the tech emerges. But I think the potential is very huge when the AI comes in and agents can act on their own.
I see what you mean, basically, where for the thing to work, actually you need a lot of predictions, and hopefully a lot of accurate predictions. Maybe not.
Right.
Where you have basically a lot of strong models making predictions, and this is where the accuracy can actually come in, because they're in competition with each other, and so the more models, the more competition, the more accuracy. But in order to kind of feed those participants, you need use cases. And you mentioned basically there's the human use cases for prediction markets, which are there. I mean, you mentioned kind of elections, kind of the classical prediction markets use cases, and then there's some that we don't even that may not quite exist yet, but are on the horizon, where it's only kind of machine type markets, and there I think there is as you say, huge potential. And then maybe there's the in between, where you have maybe businesses who want some data on their some trends that will be useful to their own product, and you'll need some you can there's lots of different ways that you can get that data, and one of those could be via prediction markets. Because the interesting thing about AI agent prediction markets is that it can be almost immediate, in the sense that as soon as a prediction market goes live, you'll have a whole bunch of agents that trade on it, rather than kind of relying on humans to come out and look at the market, reason about it, and then trade. But on that kind of high note, I guess we can start wrapping up. Are there any final words or advice you have for anyone diving into running agents on OLAS or anything else?
Yeah, definitely. You should start running an agent, because it's so easy. Download the quick start guide repo and hit enter. And I can recommend looking into it. It's really easy. And when you see the traders placing bets and you get rewards. I think it's very interesting experience. You should go into it. From me, I think I'm gonna go deeper into the prompting. I looked at one of the other submissions for the hackathon. The Google DeepMind released a paper where they have a new innovative strategy to improve prompts and create a feedback loop from where GPT models create instructions and get them scored by a different GPT model and give back the feedback. I think I'm going to look into it maybe during my master thesis. So I'm very excited and interested in what comes next and looking deeper into all of this. You're welcome. Thank you for the invitation.
Great. Yeah, I am also excited for what comes next, particularly in what you find. So thanks so much for coming for the chat. Very much looking forward to.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. Great. All right. So I am going to stop recording now and